Hey guys, it's Jen from My Create Crafts. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make these with dollar store items. So I'm starting in Design Space, but I'm going to have to Google some images. So I'm going to go to a new tab up here and then type in snowflakes. Snowflake SVG. And the reason I'm doing it in Google instead of Design Space is I don't pay for the monthly or the yearly subscription anymore, so I will not get any of these images for free. So instead of paying for them, I'm going to search for them. So in Google, I went into images, and I'm just going to find single snowflakes that I like. You don't want ones like this with multiple images because you will not be able to ungroup them, which would be okay if it's the size that you want, but I normally just do the single ones. And you gotta look out for ones that say Etsy on it or have a watermark on it. Those you cannot use. So I just use the ones that I can see that do not have a watermark or anything on it. So with the image that you like, you wanna right click on it and then click Save Image As. And then I like to put it on my desktop, and I don't change the name of it because I'm just going to put it directly in my Design Space. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to find a few more. Same thing, right click, Save Image As, and then I'll find just a few more. See, this one says Etsy, so I'm not going to use it. So this one says Pinterest, so that one's okay to use. So I'm just going to right click, Save Image As, and then just do the same thing. And you don't have to use snowflakes. It's just one of them that I like to use for a winter project. So I'm going back in Design Space. I'm going to click on Upload and then Upload Image, and then I'll browse. And I already know I have it on my desktop, so here they are. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to open it. I'm going to click Simple, Continue, and then basically you just want to go wherever there's white or this gray background. And you want to make these little white checkerboard behind it. So continue. Oops, see, and I missed a spot right here. So it's kind of good that it tells you. So I'm going to click back, and then I'm going to find a little spot. Here we go. And then continue. I like how it gives you an opportunity to see what it looks like before you keep going. So I'm just going to click on that one. I'm going to click Save. And then there it is. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other two. And then I'm going to click on all three here, and I'm going to insert image. And then here they are. So I'm just going to make these a little bit smaller. So with it selected, I'm just going to use the arrow key and make them a little bit different sizes. You can make it whatever you want, bigger or larger. And I'm going to put them next to each other, and I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to go up here to duplicate. And that's just going to make extra ones. And then you can do it again if you want. Select all, duplicate, and then you can change the sizes on these. If you want to make these a little bit bigger, but it's whatever you want. Here you go. So that's basically it. So then I will cut this out, I will weed it out, and I will show you the next step. Alright, so while I'm weeding this, I wanted to show you guys really quick. I hope you can see it because I have it kind of in the dark. I just purchased this Cricut light up screen, and it is the best investment that I've ever made. I was thinking for a couple months now, oh, I should get that. Well, no, probably not. But seriously, it works really well. If I'm just working with this, you can hardly even see it. There's a little snowflake behind it, but if you put it on here, you can see it really well right through it, and then you're easily able to weed it. And because I'm doing the Armor Etch, I'm actually weeding out the design rather than weeding out the vinyl pieces. So I'm just weeding out the design instead, because that's what we'll be using to put on our cups. But I just wanted to show you this really quick while I'm weeding it, how much easier this is, and you're able to see it rather than squinting and wasting your eyes. I mean, look at that, it's perfect. So I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so here I have it finished. And the next thing you want to do is take your transfer tape and put it over your vinyl. then use your scraper and scrape it down really well, because you want to make sure you get those little pieces in there from the D's and the E's. You don't want to lose any of those. So I'm going to set this aside for a minute. And then you're going to take your mug. I bought this from the dollar store. That was pretty neat. And I pulled the sticker off of the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but it left a bit of residue left. So I'm going to take some alcohol that I bought from the dollar store and just a piece of paper towel and clean the bottom. Get rid of that sticker part first. Get that all off. And then clean the whole cup as well. And get any little residue or dirt or anything off that might be on here. Then I'm going to take another towel and just dry it off, because you want your vinyl to stick to it. So there. Let's do the bottom. And then you need to figure out where you want to put your wording. I'm right-handed, so I'll be drinking it like this, so you'd want to see it in the front here. So I'm going to turn it this way and work this way. So I'm going to try to keep this where you can see it. So then you want to take your vinyl, and you want to make sure the whole piece comes off. Remember, this is reverse weeding, so you want to make sure you have the whole piece of vinyl, and then you want to make sure that the little pieces stick on it as well. Don't want to lose any in here. If it comes up, just push it right back down with it. So there. So here it is. So this is kind of the tricky part, where you want to make sure you get it in the center. So that's why I like the lines on here. If you can see the lines, makes it a little bit easier. And it doesn't matter if you go up too far on here, because your mouth isn't going to go on this side. Plus it's Armor Etch, so it's etching into the glass. So even if you put your mouth on it, it wouldn't hurt you. It's in the glass. It's not anything above it. So I'm actually going to work with it for a minute before you put it down. Trying to see where a good spot is. It's kind of hard to judge when it's can't really see the back, so maybe you can look at the back and kind of judge from the back side to see if you got it in a good position, and then just work your way around. I like to work in the center and work my way out. But you want to make sure it's flat, which is more difficult with a curved surface. So just take your time with it and get all the little bubbles up that might be in it. Because you don't want any little, like right here with this one. And take the transfer tape off, I can work with it. The same thing for the bottom part. Just work your way around. Again, just take your time. It is more difficult with a curve in it. Once you think you have it on really well, then you can pull back your transfer tape. Making sure that you leave those little pieces in the middle again with the E's and the D's. Which somewhere I lost my E part in here. And I don't see it on my transfer tape. So I'll have to look for that. But if you can see this, there are little lines here. You just want to make sure that you flatten those, because the Armor Etch will go right beneath that. So you don't want those lines there. So just take a little bit of extra time and kind of work with it. And even sometimes, even if you have to, you can make a little cut mark in between, just as long as you don't go up too far, and it'll help be able to make it flatter. So you don't need all this at the bottom. So again, just take your time and work with it. I am going to work with this for a minute, and then I will show you how I apply the Armor Etch to it. Okay, so here I have it on. I pushed as hard as I could, and I made some cuts in it, and I tried to make it smoothed out pretty well. The spots that I really couldn't do, I just took my weeding tool and kind of just pushed it on it really hard. So hopefully that will help prevent it from seeping through. So here is what I'm going to be using. This is Armor Etch. I don't know if you ever worked with it before, but it was about $23 from Hobby Lobby, but I had a 40% off coupon, so it wasn't too bad. They say that you're supposed to use gloves with this, but I normally never really do. I never had an issue before. So I'm just going to take it. I'm using a really small foam brush I bought from the dollar store. And I'm just going to go in and take some out and put it right on. And I do it kind of thicker because after the 15 minutes that I leave it on, I take it off and put it back into the jar, so I'm not really wasting anything. So I go on kind of thicker. I'm just dabbing it a little bit. And you want to make sure you get everywhere. Everywhere that you want it, that is. So be careful when you're doing the edges that you don't get anywhere that you don't want it to go. Because even if it just goes on for a second, that one little second will etch that part out. So just kind of go over, take a look where you see extra spots that you might have missed. But that's it. I mean, it's that simple. And I'll just, you know, let it sit here for the next 15 minutes. Put maybe my scissors behind it. I'll let it sit for 15 minutes. I think it's 10 minutes that it's recommended, but I do it for an extra 5 minutes. And then I'll take my brush and I'll get the rest of this off, put it back in the jar, and then I'll go to my sink and I'll wash it off, but I'll show you that next step. So here are my mugs. They've been sitting for about 15 minutes now, and I'm ready to wash off the Armor Etch. After you wash your Armor Etch off, you'll want to peel off your vinyl and then give your cups one good last washing. Okay, so here are how my mugs turned out. I think they turned out really well. This is the snowflake one. I put them all over and it turned out really amazing. One thing I do want to say though is if you get your image up high where you would be drinking from, like right here, it doesn't matter because this is etched into your glass, so it will not hurt you in any way or harm you if you would drink it. I'm going to make these cute little guys to go in with them. I made a few already, but I will show you how I did them. So I purchased these bags off of Amazon, and I'll leave you the link if you're interested, but they're just little clear plastic bags. And then I purchased some marshmallows from the dollar store. So I'm going to open this up. Actually, getting ahead of myself. I bought this from the dollar store as well. These little packets of hot chocolate. So I'm just going to cut the edge off. And then I'm going to put it into the bag. And then after you have it all in, you just want to take your bag of marshmallows and just add however many you want to put in here. Then they come with these little tie wraps. So you just want to take a tie wrap and close your bag as good as you can, making sure that the bottom gets filled. You can kind of tap it. And then close it as best as you can, and then use your tie wrap and then just wrap it around. And I was thinking you could also use the pipe cleaners with this as well, like the red or the green pipe cleaners, so it'd be kind of neat to go with it. But this is such an easy and fun project to do. So here they are finished. You know, you can put one or two or however many you want, but I think that would be a really awesome gift to give somebody. So yeah, it's all handmade. Everything came from the heart. So I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe and leave a big thumbs up.